Hey, it's Conrad Thompson. Thanks for checking out the podcast here on YouTube. Be sure to hit the subscribe button and the notifications bell. You'll get a notice anytime we upload some new content. And when I'm not asking Bruce, hey, how big was Batista's? Well, you know. One of the things I like to do is help people save money. And if you're watching this video right now and you're in a 30-year loan, man, you're overpaying your single biggest bill and you may not even realize it. I want you to do a little experiment for me. Take your calculator out, multiply your monthly house payment by 360 payments. That's how many payments there are on a 30-year loan. That big scary number, that's your total of payments. You're looking at that number? You know you can do better. Keep more of your own money right now and go to savewithconrad.com. Or maybe you've got credit card debt. Man, it's not a matter of if I can save you money with that. Your average interest rate on a credit card is more than 20%. And by the way, all the interest you pay on those credit cards, it's not tax deductible. Whereas the mortgage interest, well, that is tax deductible. So if you owe this debt, it's up to you how to pay it back. Doesn't it make sense to get the cheapest rate possible and the greatest tax deduction possible? Find out how much money you can save right now for free at savewithconrad.com. You don't need perfect credit. Even scores in the 500s can be approved, and it's no cost out of pocket. But maybe best of all, we're licensed in more than 40 states. We can help more families than ever before. But how much can we save you? Find out right now for free with a quick quote from savewithconrad.com.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the main event.
Welcome to WHW Monday. Tony Schiavone and Conrad Thompson.
Jim Crockett First Arcade, 605 NWA. TV title, Cajun Omni, the Bunkhouse Stampede. Flair and Horseman, Garvin, Bogey, Magnum, Dusty, Express Tag Team. Turner, bought in Mid-South Joint World Championship Wrestling.
Talking about the great years of World Championship Wrestling, the NWA, and Jim Crockett Promotions.
Tony and First North, they win. Look, Schiavone's back again. World title split off center stage. Bischoff, Disney, Hogan, and Nitro. New World Order and the Crow. Thunder, Russo, Arquette Champ, Vinnie Mac, simulcast. Tony's back with Conrad, not your classic podcast. Watch along, try not to laugh. Lowest rules can't pass. This wasn't the initial plan. Thompson's a good-looking man. Klondike Bill, make a trip. Tommy, you come over here.
What happened when? WHW Monday. And now, let's go to the ring. And here's your co-host. Hey, it's Conrad Thompson.
Hey, it's Conrad Thompson, and you're listening to What Happened When? With the voice of your childhood, Tony Schiavone. Tony, what's going on, man? How are you?
Hey, after all these months together, years together now, am I still the voice of the childhood? I mean,
I think you're the voice of the present now.
Well, I'm one of them. I mean, Excalibur does such a great job. And of course, there's, the voice of wrestling, JR. So,
oh my gosh, listen to you.
And then there's all the guys in the WWE, if they can tolerate being produced in their ear or being screamed at in their ear.
Can you name three besides
WWE announcers?
Yes, besides Michael Cole.
No.
Okay.
I cannot.
Okay.
I could have one time mentioned Mauro Ranallo, but he's no longer with them.
We're all tight on that.
Yeah. He has a movie out about him in Netflix.
Oh man, that's awesome. I can't wait to not watch.
Hey, I like Mauro. I do.
That's cool, man. I hope y'all like each other.
Okay. Well, there's got to be a story there.
Well, the story today is we're watching the old WTBS studio show, World Championship Wrestling, from June 21st, 1986. And it is, well, a little different. The version that's online is a shorty, but a goodie. Yeah. I'm excited to watch this one with you, but I wish it was a little longer. That's what she said. What no one has wished was any longer is your 40-year anniversary, buddy. Congratulations.
Thank you. It was, Lois and I, had a road trip for our 40th anniversary. We loaded the dogs.
Wow.
Up in the, Explorer. And, by the way, anyone who wants to buy an Explorer?
Are you over it?
Yeah, big time.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You were loving it before.
I know, but I've had enough of it now.
What happened?
And I've only been paying for it for a year. Just a lot of recalls. And I'll tell you this story here in just a minute. It's kind of goofy. Anyway, so we get in the car and we drive from Atlanta to Jacksonville. We have the big weekend in Jacksonville where we have a live Dynamite, and the two Dynamites, we taped two Dynamites, which is a lot. And then all those matches for Elevation, all those matches for Dark. So I get a place at the beach, a house at the beach.
Can't hide money.
Yeah. And Lois and the dog stay in the beach house, basically, those 4 days, because our taping schedule is pretty, I don't get to spend that much time with her, put it that way. But we did have breakfast at the beach diner.
Did you invite Jim Ross, or did you just run into him there?
I didn't run into him, didn't invite him. Just me and Lois. It was our anniversary breakfast, the day of the anniversary. Then we had dinner later. So we got to do that. So then we drove afterwards on Tuesday. We drove to Wilmington, North Carolina.
Wow.
Woo. 7-hour trip to see Lois's niece, and rented a house there. Nice house in the historic part. Then we drove up to Baltimore.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, man. And boy, did we have a good time, didn't we?
Oh, the best. Jeff Jarrett and I can't thank you enough. You are a very special guest on our very first live show. And you could tell that, Jeff was finding his sea legs, but boy, you came in and just took over. It was fun, man. Thanks for coming.
I thoroughly enjoyed it. Lois and I earlier in the day, had lunch at Jimmy's Famous Seafood.
How was it?
It's the best restaurant in America, and they have done so much great work on there, haven't they?
Yeah, man, that patio area is unbelievable.
We stayed out there with the dogs, and it's funny. We had the dogs on a leash, and I knew we were going to be in the patio area because that's where Johnny told us the dogs can go. And I went to the front door, and I looked in the front door, and I told him, I said, and I saw Johnny, and I hugged him, and then I said, can I bring the dogs through here? And the girl said, dogs are family. Bring them in. And I thought, wow, what a place. What a great place. So we had a great lunch, took Lois back to the hotel.
Now, isn't it true that one of your dogs dropped anchor right there in the foyer?
No, it's not true.
That's what I heard.
That's the I may have, but they did not.
Why are you shitting the floor still?
Okay. So my dogs are well trained, buddy. My dogs are housebroken.
Well, I'm sure that's because of Lois, because you didn't housebreak Lois for shit.
That they may not be like your two dogs, okay, that shit everywhere in the mansion. My dogs are housebroken, except Bug shit on the floor of the Batcave the other day. So anyway, I had a great time with Jeff. Had a great time with you. Jeff, it's a little behind the scenes story here, Inside Baseball. Jeff was really concerned about this show, wasn't he?
Oh God, he was so nervous.
Yeah, just like, I don't know. I've never done one of these. I thought he did great, man.
He's fine. He's a natural storyteller. He just had to simmer down now.
Yeah, absolutely. Just be yourself.
I think in his head, hey, I'm going to be working in front of a new crowd. I got to figure out, I understand that, but it's like at the same time, dude, these people have already heard your show and like it. So
yeah,
they're already fans. You're good. You don't have to win over strangers here.
Right. We had a lot of great people who help us out.
Oh my gosh, yes.
Paul Bromwell is tremendous. And who else was there? There was who was running the board? I don't think I'd ever met him before.
Oh, Mr. Odom.
Mr. Odom.
Yeah. Did a great job too.
Yeah, he did a great job. I don't think I'd met him before. So
he's on our Monday calls.
Right. But I never met him in person.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah. So, I got a good staff, great place to go. I can't recommend Jimmy's Famous Seafood enough.
Agree.
If you're in Baltimore.
No, even if you're not, you can get that shit shipped over at jimmysfamousseafood.com. That's what I do.
Right. Our neighbors took care of our mail and watered our plants out front. So we're ordering them a big box to say thank you.
How about that?
Yeah. It's just so we had a great time. I can't wait. And I don't know what you got planned.
Uh-oh.
I know I'm not going to be able to do football this year, so I've kind of given that up.
Wait, you're done with football?
No. And that's because I've got
Friday night shows
and a bunch of comic cons to go to on Saturdays to promote the comic book. So I've kind of given. So anyway, I don't know what you've got planned for the summer for your crew, but I think it'd be a great idea if we start going out again. I don't know if you think it's too early or not to hit the road and do our shows, but I have such a great time. I really do.
We have a standing offer in Rochester.
Yeah, I know. We need to go back. And I believe AEW is going to go back to Rochester soon.
They are in September. And by the way, I've also heard, according to the rumor, or maybe it's November, I don't know, whenever they're going back.
Yeah.
I got a text from an old friend of ours just earlier this morning.
Okay.
Whitney Wright is interested in coming to a live What Happened When and wanted to know when the next one was.
Are you serious?
And I said, well, you know what? Just for you, I bet we'll schedule one.
Oh my God.
And of course, Megan says, who's texting this early? I was damn sure not giving the real answer.
Okay. So Whitney Wright. Mm-hmm. Okay. Can't bring Lois to that one.
Oh, you could have. Whitney would love to be Lois. What are you talking about?
Yeah. Anyway,
by the way, if you're not sure who we're talking about, don't Google it at work. Just a little pro tip.
Yeah.
Google it when you get home and it's private time and your wife's putting the kids to bed or something.
Yeah.
Don't do it at the office.
Don't do it at the office. So, I don't know why I grabbed that thing. If you're not watching video, I meant the thing on the mic. Never mind.
I feel like that's how the Horsemen used to pass you cigarettes.
So do you want to get back on the road and do things again? Or I know you're up to your eyeballs in mortgages and everything. And
I'm kind of good. I think I'm good.
Okay. So let's do this again. 'Cause I got time and I want to do it and I have a great time. And it's great connecting with everybody. I love, meeting. Oh, by the way, thank you to the lady from Elizabeth Bakery for all the cupcakes.
Oh my gosh, Lindsay. Dude, how cool was that?
Oh
she didn't just make Jeff Jarrett cupcakes. Mm-hmm. She didn't just make Tony Schiavone cupcakes. She made Conrad Thompson cupcakes.
Right. We're talking about with faces and logos. Yes.
Yeah. And John's beautiful fiance there at Jimmy's Famous Seafood. She ate me. So there you go. Could have ate you. Didn't ate me.
Well, you are the star of the show.
Oh, Jesus.
Never forget that. And you'll say sometimes, well, we can do a live show, but I can't go. Well, then we're not doing the fucking live show. Okay. It's not Tony on stage. It's not Jarrett on stage. It's Conrad and Tony. It's Conrad and Jeff.
But if it's Tony and JR, it could work.
No, it's gotta be you.
You're so sweet to me since the baby came.
You are the master of ceremonies. So anyway, we did that. And then we drove down to Virginia and saw some of my relatives, got together with my friends. I don't know if you saw it on Facebook. And
it looked like a damn lineup.
Yeah, it was a lineup. And unfortunately, my brother-in-law is very sick.
Oh, shit.
So, yeah, really sick. So we had to go. We went to see him at the hospital. And we were going to stay with my sister, but couldn't because he's been so sick. But so we go to Craigsville and I hang out in the backyard. And my daughter said, how come you look the youngest of all these guys? And I said, I was the one who left town. It's very apparent that if you stay in Craigsville, you age.
It's quickly. Because of our great friends at justformen.com.
No. Yes, it is for the beard. I don't color how many times have I told you I don't color my hair?
I don't know. However, I don't listen to you most of the time.
However, now that you are getting ready to turn 40.
Hey, watch it now.
Yay. You are going to have to consider Just for Men for your beard. I can't wait to see a gray Conrad Thompson.
Well, have you met my dad? It's pretty much what it's going to look like.
Yeah. So anyway, I know that's coming up, and we will talk more about it next week, which obviously next week is closer to your birthday. So
this is my last.
It's your last one in the 30s, right?
It's my last week. Yeah. By the time next week's episode airs, I'll be 40. This is my last What Happened When in my 30s.
Wow.
How about that?
That's amazing. It goes by quickly, buddy. Wait, 50, 60. It goes by quickly. So anyway, back to the car very quickly. I told Lois, because our buddy Paul Bromwell's got one, and I've been in it before. Told Lois, I said, I want a Range Rover.
Oh, look at this motherfucker here.
No, wait a minute. Hang on.
Hey, Megan, Tony's getting a Range Rover. He's going to be too uppity to fucking come to supper. What's that? She says she's too uppity to come to our goddamn wedding, and that's when I had a fucking Ford Ranger.
Can I finish this fucking anecdote?
Yes.
I told Lois I want a Range Rover. She said, well, you've only been paying on this car for like a year and a half, so I don't know if you can get out of it or not. And I said, yeah, you can get out of anything. So then I get a text from Britt Baker.
Oh,
my buddy.
Oh,
and it was a text that, look what I bought. And it was a picture of a Range Rover.
Yeah. Now you can't get one.
That's right.
Because Lois would think the fix is in.
That's exactly right.
Well, just so you know, Megan's had one for 3 years.
She like it?
Yeah.
They're nice, aren't they?
They're okay.
Oh, okay.
Technology's way, way behind. I'll tell you this.
Oh, really? Technology on the Range Rover way behind?
Yeah, I think so. Here's the thing that's worth mentioning. A lot of people are going to discourage you and say, oh, it's going to be in the shop all the time. Oh, it's so expensive to take care of. And I was one of those people too. I said that because I had a friend who had one. That being said, that's not what Megan got. Megan got a newer model. This latest generation, dude, it's rock solid. All in the 3 years we've had it, it's been like tires and oil change, nothing else.
Good.
So I would encourage you to take a look at it, but I'm also anti new car. And I know you love a new car.
Yeah.
But I like a gently used car.
You like one with little miles on it, right?
Hey, don't talk about my wife like that.
I was talking about mine.
Oh,
Who's got a lot of miles on her now.
but they're highway miles, Tony. They're not city miles.
No.
You took her to the store in town once a week and to church.
Yeah.
Those are the only miles she's got on her. Not a lot of city traffic.
Christmas this year, Lois's, which was a brand new car, is going to be 3 years old. She doesn't even have 10,000 miles on it right now. That is an old lady car.
Yep.
Is what that is.
What's wrong with that? Though? I love old lady cars.
Yeah. So anyway, there you go. So there's my, my 2 weeks together. And then we drove from, we stopped in Greensboro, but we drove all the way down from home, Virginia, back to Atlanta. 2 weeks on the road together. I think it's the longest time Lois and I have spent together away from home since we have been married. And that's a long time. So that was quite an adventure for us with the two dogs. We had an okay time.
Hey, can I mention real quick?
Yeah.
You sort of skipped something pretty monumental. Over the course of those, not one, not two, but 3 days recording AEW programming, great friend of the show, Mr. Brock Anderson, made his in-ring debut. Yes, we're talking about the son of Arn Anderson. I guess if Arn is AA, we might call him AAA. I'm pretty excited about this. I didn't exactly know that it was coming the way it did. I don't know what I expected, but buddy, I was grinning ear to ear, and I've only, been friendly with the family, I don't know, 5 or 6 years. You, on the other hand, have known this boy since he was a baby.
Yeah.
And now here he is wrestling in prime time on TV. What the hell? Great story.
Yeah, it is a great story. Arn's wife was there. Aaron's other son, Barrett, was there, and they were pretty excited about Brock's debut. Brock is such a nice young man. It's really apparent that Arn and Aaron have been great parents. It really is. You can just tell. And he's been so respectful for all of us in the back, hanging out with his dad. And they've done a great job raising that young man. And Lois saw him on TV. She said, "Oh my God, looks exactly like him. Looks exactly like him." I said, "Hang on a second. Cast your eyes to the right there. Take a look at his dad. He looks nothing like his dad's trying to smuggle a watermelon in here." She said, "No, I'm talking about back in the 80s when you guys were, when we were what? Hanging out together." Yeah, okay. Anyway, so there you go. So Brock's start of a great career, I think.
I'm so happy for him.
I am too. I'm really happy that, and I'm happy that they brought him in, to team with Cody, but to help him out, and just good stuff. And listen, I think on the other end, I think QT is a very underrated worker. He's a great trainer, and he can work, and is a good guy to have on the other end. So, and now we got a strap match coming up here in Miami, and I'm so excited. Starting on the first week in July, that we're going to be going back on the road, including going to New York City.
New York City.
How about that? How about going to the Arthur Ashe Stadium, where the U.S. Open is played, right next to where the Mets play in Queens, in what was the what used to be the World's Fair back a long time ago. Excited about that. Really excited about going to New York City. Coming and going back to New York, and pretty soon we'll be going everywhere. So, good stuff. Great time to be a wrestling fan. I say that term a lot, I know, but it is. And I'll tell you why. Not only because we've got two promotions, we've got more attention on independent wrestling, I think, than ever before, because we use independent wrestlers from independent promotions, for Elevation and Dark. And it's a great time because we're going to be getting back, and we've got a great podcast, and you've got a whole great network of, and it's increased. It's gotten better. You got Kurt Angle, you got Jeff Jarrett, you got good old JR, you got me, you got Arn, you got Eric, and then of course you got the King of the Mountain, Bruce Pritchard. How is Bruce, by the way?
He's good, okay? Man. He's he had a friend get pretty bad sick on him recently, and it was pretty touch and go. So he was pretty tore up there for a few days, and I think he's okay now. But yeah, we're excited to have Bruce as part of our lineup. I mean, we don't talk about it a lot, but he's got to be, at this point, no kidding around, one of the most influential people in all of professional wrestling. And it's so cool to see that he's back in wrestling and you're back in wrestling, and to think that our silly podcast here had even one iota to do with any of that. It's just the coolest thing ever. And we thank you guys for joining us every week on this silly journey. I'm having fun going week by week through 1986. And I guess we should give everybody a heads up that we've got something very special coming their way right here. The next week or 10 days?
Yeah. At the end of the month, as we go, we're going to take a very special look at the thing that these whole shows are about in the summertime, and that is promoting the Great American Bash. And we had a Great American Bash. I guess we had one every week, starting the 1st of July. Some monumental things occurred, and we're going to take a look at some of those things, and we're going to have some surprises as a result.
Well, I'm excited about that. And I'm excited about today's episode, even though it's a short one. It is indeed a good one. It's June 21st, 1986. That's June 21st, 1986. And I know what you're thinking. Well, it's a watch along show. Watch along. Well, here's what I'm going to tell you. A little pro tip, if you will. If you'd like to do a watch along, look in the comments. One more time. If you would like to watch along with us, I want to direct you to the comments.
There you go. And if you can read, which we know you can you'll be able to watch along. We would think. We hope you can read. By the way, you never know.
DDP can.
And he started wrestling when he was 35. And he became a world champion.
Started reading when he was in his 30s.
And look where he is now.
Now he writes books and he's a multimillionaire and always either has a smoking hot wife or a smoking hot girlfriend. So that fella can sell.
Yeah, he's done quite well for himself, hasn't he?
He's a salesman. All he does is talk shit and swallow spit.
Well, I'm looking at one right now too.
Yeah, I'm just saying.
Yeah, you salesman, buddy.
Well, you've been selling stupid shit forever. Let's watch you sell some new shit. Give us a countdown, Tony. Here we go.
We got a special countdown, and it comes from the ad-free shows department. You ready?
Ready. I get it. It's a wrestling podcast, but he's saving us money on our mortgage. Do you really trust this process? The reviews don't lie. 5-star review after 5-star review. We make it fast, we make it easy, and it's no cost or obligation. Give us a shot to earn your business. I'm telling you, you'll be glad you did, especially if you like keeping more of your own money. You don't need perfect credit or money out of your pocket. So what are you waiting for? Hurry to savewithconrad.com.
We are back in the time machine again this week here on WHW. The year is 1986 as the voice of our pandemic teams with the voice of our childhood to retell the stories of one of the greatest eras in wrestling history. It's Jim Crockett Promotions. Just listen as Tony Schiavone recalls memories of the Rock and Roll Express and their infamous Super Summer Sizzler tour, the build to the Great American Bash, and just what will Jim Cornette say next about Baby Doll? Well, sit back, grab your favorite beverage, and sink into your sofa, because here comes that weekly countdown in 3, 2, 1, play.
That I'm built like a Greek god, that I'm physical conditioning personified. We got one more thing. I can hear the question in everybody's mind saying, Cornette, you may be built good, but baby, can you wrestle? Well, let me tell you something. That's why this goof Monkey's standing in the ring right now, Randy Monkey. Hey, I'm going to show all you rednecks my vast wrestling skills. Monkey, take your best hold, baby.
How about Mulkey not locking up, Baby Doll doing a run in, and it got a pop?
And Cornette's reaction was tremendous.
I love his outfit. Cornette's the man, dude.
Yeah, man. Thank you, Paul Bromwell, for that intro, by the way.
He put some effort into that.
He put some effort in everything he does. Here we go.
Baby Doll, the Great American Bash. All the great wrestlers in the world are coming your way. Tony, it is ready.
It is the hottest ticket in town, the Great American Bash 86. The countdown is on. Our Great American Bash update will be with you here today. And also the World Heavyweight Champion, Nature Boy Ric Flair, is in action here today on World Championship Wrestling. But let's bring in the Russians, Ivan and Nikita Koloff. It's part of the Great American Bash 86. Best of 7 for the U.S. Heavyweight title. Yeah, and also for the World 6-man tag team.
Again, come out and attack. He attacked Uncle Ivan with the belt. Show no respect. Omega PA. It's no going to take 7 match. You look at Nikita, Adin, Diva, 3, Jetri, and Nikita, USA champion and the Road Warrior. Nikita, no can wait, get you in the ring again, Dada.
Yes, Megan T.A., your attack on me last week, hitting me over the head, United States heavyweight title, only goes to show what we've been saying all along, that you're ill-tempered, uncontrollable maniac. And that you are not the athlete to represent America as United States heavyweight champion. No, nephew Nikita is. And we're glad the NWA has ordered best of the 7 during the Great American Bash to decide who is United States heavyweight champion. Because this way, nephew Nikita can torture you, punish you, and teach you more manners 4 matches straight. He's going to defeat you, United States heavyweight title. I can see why this Dusty Rhodes and this Magnum TA, our America's team, they think is one. As I travel around America, every time I run into this Dusty Rhodes, he's always going out of his way to show he's a patriotic American. Well, you've got something, Dusty Rhodes, that belongs to the Koloff family. World Six-Man Tag Team Trophy. And inside the cage, we have devised a plan to assure taking the trophy away from you. And Ric Flair, my nephew Nikita, has more experience now. He's going to take world title away from you. That is the ultimate goal.
The Russians, Ivan and Nikita Koloff, let's go to the ring.
You know, even though he's doing a gimmick accent, boy, Ivan can cut a promo.
He can cut a promo, and he knows the points to hit, doesn't he?
He is like an old pro. I mean, that's his.
Yeah, he knew to hit the best of 7, the World Six-Man Tag Team title, and Nikita and Ric Flair, all part of the Great American Bash. So he knew all that. So that's old school stuff. I like that, man. I have, and of course, I've mentioned many times how great of a person Ivan Koloff was. Unfortunately, I didn't get to see him. I think I may have seen him maybe in Charlotte, but I haven't, just one of the real nice men. I got so many nice men in the business, and a lot of jackoffs too. But who
are the jackoffs back here in 1986?
You,
I was 4.
Okay. Oh, you meant back here in 1986?
Yeah, not ever.
Oh, you said back here. I thought you meant back in my house. Who's all the jackoffs back here?
All right. Too late. You filibustered.
Gibson, Ricky Morton, the Rock and Roll Express. Here are 3 of the 4 Horsemen. J.J. Dillon, and now here's
don't get ahead of yourself. What you have here is the Four Horsemen united, live and exciting color, right here on national television. The Rock is back, and the impact was felt all around the wrestling world. And now that the Anderson brothers are back, Flair, the world's heavyweight champion, Tully Blanchard, national heavyweight champion, along with the infamous James J. Dillon, nobody or nothing can stop what's going to happen.
You know, the bash is upon us, and we've got a lot of people that think they're going to do some avenging. We'll get ready. We're ready for the bash. Rhodes, everybody else, I hope you're ready, because we're coming your way.
Tony Schiavone, all I got to say is I told you The Rock was coming back. We base our credibility on one thing. We don't make promises. We don't make threats that we can't make good. The Rock's back. You want to get in bed with the big dogs, you're going to get on the critical list, whoever you are. Tony Schiavone, never let it be said that Ric Flair hasn't stood between a couple of real big men in his life. You know, all I hear about are the Road Warriors and Dusty Rhodes and Magnum TA. Well, you guys, wherever you are, and we know for a fact a lot of you are having a hard time finding your way to the television station when you know that the Horsemen are in the same building. As a matter of fact, Dusty Rhodes is sitting in Charlotte or Houston or Dallas, wherever he is, sending in videos. Well, brother, this isn't a video shop. It's a wrestling promotion, and we like to see the guys we don't like firsthand. Now, there's 2 other guys that have been hard-pressed to find their way here, too. The Road Warriors, you know. We're talking about Animal and Road Warrior Big Bird Hawk. That's right. That's a good one, huh? We're talking about you. That's right, Hawk. When we get done with you, Hawk, we're going to stretch that big neck of yours about a foot longer, and they're going to call you Road Warrior Big Bird Hawk. You know why? Because we say so. We told Dusty Rhodes we was going to break his leg, and we broke his leg. We told Morton and Gibson they were going to get hurt, and they got hurt. In other words, this elite family has got the distinction, of doing what they say they're going to do. So whether you like it or not, learn to love it, because we're going to be here for a long, long time. One more short note. If there's a woman in the world that's between the age of 18 and 28 that's not wearing a training bra, that wants to find out what a real man's all about, then girls, what's causing all this? Woo!
The Four Horsemen together, and coming up right after this break, a pre-recorded video.
Can you believe all the funny stuff that you could say back then that you can't say these days. Like some of that stuff back then was hilarious.
Yeah.
And some of this stuff these days, you're like, boy, I don't think they could say that today. Like I saw an old clip the other day that said, I like them women with full sweaters and the empty heads, brother.
In town, coming throughout this country, July the 1st in Philly. In Washington, D.C., Dusty Rhodes, the American Dream, gets his chance once again at destiny, at what all dreams are made of in this country. Living in the promised land, being the best you can. That's what it's all about. Ending up in Fulton County Stadium in Atlanta, Georgia. A great American bash. In this year of 1986, Miss Liberty, living in the promised land, Dusty Rhodes faces his sternest test. Because no matter how much a fever pitch the great American dream provides for the people throughout television land, throughout arena land, throughout wrestling land, there is one thing that stands out in the mind of millions of people throughout this country daily. Whether you like wrestling or not does not matter. Ole Anderson and Dusty Rhodes have to somewhere, sometime, someplace in this thing that has for years driven this inside of me to be as bad as I can, to be mean, to be ugly, to be nasty, to get round dirty. And Ole Anderson, you're on your last leg. This might be the swan song, if you will. And like I said before, if it be that way, let it be. Nobody interfere. Me and you, the Four Horsemen, they need to ride on another planet. Because I reserved the stratosphere for me and you. And there ain't nobody else on the stratosphere. On the end of the lightning bolt that crashes through this great, vast atmosphere, Dusty Rhodes lives. I ride on the end. And I got a silver-studded saddle. And I've rode there for 7 years. You got to come up to my place. Ole Anderson and Dusty Rhodes, the Midnight Express, baby doll, everybody. Get it now, the hottest ticket in town, the Great American Bash. Living on the end of a lightning bolt.
You know, some of his shit was so over the top, but that still hit for me.
I know. I know. He taped that the week before in an empty studio, and then we played it that next week, because he wasn't going to be there. It's Dusty, baby. But, you know, going back to some things that you can't say today.
Yeah.
That's just being good. That's just good heel shit Flair was doing.
Oh, yeah.
Because people say, oh, look at him. He wants to hit on every woman.
Yes.
You know, he's philanderer. He's like, and it fucking worked. And, you know, damn, we live in some great times, and at the same time, we live in some very stupid times.
I agree.
Yeah. Just fucking get over yourself. So anyway, I'm looking at the Horsemen doing that interview, and I'm thinking again, flying burrito. I'm thinking again that, that's the best version of the Horseman with Ole there. It's the Horseman that we cut our teeth on, so to speak.
Buggy Wuggy. And Manny Fernandez pick up the win. I hope we get a Manny promo.
Wow.
How many daddies? No.
Cornette and Big Bubba. And what do we got here?
I can't get Baby Doll off my mind. I bought a used car last week. I found Baby Doll's dress in the back seat. Take a look at that. Take that home to your wife, Tony. I got a little piece of videotape I want everybody to see. I'm ecstatic to show this thing. It's the greatest thing ever. Roll the videotape. If anybody's awake, I want to find a monitor. I want to see it. Show it to me right now. Come on.
Okay,
what's the matter with you people?
let's take a look at that tape.
It's not such a Mickey Mouse operation around here. You can't. Hey, get the camera on me. That's a safe shot every time. Let me tell you something, Baby Doll. I am sick and tired of hearing you run your mouth, hearing you go on about what you're going to do to me, hearing about your friends. Come on, show the tape. I want to see this.
All right,
tape.
let's go to the tape right now that Jim Cornette is talking about.
Thank God that I'm physical conditioning personified. We got one more thing. I can hear the question in everybody's mind saying, Cornette, you may be built good, but baby, can you wrestle? Well, let me tell you something. That's why this goof Monkey's standing in the ring right now, Randy Monkey. Hey, I'm going to show all you rednecks my vast wrestling skills. Monkey, take your best hold, baby.
No. Here she comes.
What the fuck was that?
That was a belly-to-belly suplex.
It's the worst one I've ever seen.
And she's not a wrestler.
She's Andrea the Giant.
Not gonna sell the chair.
Oh, Jesus.
You may have beaten me as Ray Traylor, but you ain't gonna beat me now, motherfucker.
Shovels.
Nope.
Well, that look on the face of the American Dream really says it all.
You've ever seen in your life. America sent its modern-day John Wayne, the American Dream, Dusty Rhodes, into the ring to take care of Big Bubba. He took his best shot, and he couldn't get it done. He took the saloon chair, but he couldn't run the big man out of town. That's one of your friends, baby doll. You talking about all your friends. You got the Rock and Roll Express as your friends. You got the Road Warriors as your friends for the Great American Bashes. But I got Big Bubba, I got the Midnight Express, and you're not gonna make a fool out of me in those bashes, doll. I'm gonna beat your brains out.
Fans, we'll be back right after this timeout.
What a historic moment all time that is. The whole cheer on Big Bubba's head.
Yeah.
A classic Mid-Atlantic moment.
Mm-hmm.
And we're going to keep it going with a promo.
Baby doll had real bad luck last week. Did you know that?
What's that?
A guy broke into Baby doll's apartment. She yelled, rape. He yelled, no. And Baby doll, you are ugly. And that's why nobody wants to be around you. But I'm going to introduce to you a couple of guys who everybody wants to be around because they're the best in the world. The World Tag Team Champions. Loverboy Dennis and Beautiful Bobby, the Midnight Express.
Speaking of jokes you couldn't make today.
Yeah, I wonder in 30 years from now, obviously I won't be around, 30 years from now, what we will be able to say and what we won't be able to say. And how restrictive society will be then. It's going to be bad. Anyway, so much for but the chair on Bubba's head. Tremendous moment. And it's what made it tremendous was you didn't see it.
Yeah.
Before. Now, if somebody breaks a chair over their head, everybody goes, oh, it's been done before, breakaway chair. But back then it was something spectacular, right?
It's already over. The Midnight Express have already won.
Yeah. How about that? Well, again, this show is not about wrestling.
I'm just saying these matches, they last about as long as your lovemaking.
Yeah.
It's in and out, Jones.
Used to. I don't make love anymore, Conrad.
Really?
No.
Okay. Well, that seems like
not even for the 40th anniversary.
What?
The Great American Bash is coming your way, Tony. Like you said in Dusty Rhodes, it's the hottest ticket in town.
And of course, the people in Philadelphia excited. Washington, D.C. at RFK Stadium, Memphis at the Liberty Bowl, and Charlotte, of course, in Cincinnati at Riverfront Stadium. But we'd like to announce right here another city added to the Bash, and we're talking about Richmond, Virginia, and the Richmond Coliseum, part of the Great American Bash.
That's right. We're very proud to add them. And the thing is, you've got Ric Flair, 14 title defenses. I've talked to all the wrestlers, polled them, and they said that there is no way he can do it.
We'll find out.
If he does, everybody's going to have to stand up and say he is the best.
And all over the country, people want to see Baby Doll get her hands on Jim Cornette during the Great American Bash, Baby Doll. I know you're looking forward to that.
Tony, can you believe Cornette coming out with that dress saying that was, does that look like anything I have ever worn? I take a little more pride than that. But listen, I have received so many cards and letters across the world, across the United States. It's unbelievable. And they're all saying, Baby Doll, do you really think you can beat a man? And I'll tell you what, Cornette, I'm the one to do it because I don't think a regular woman could get in and beat Cornette, but I'm the one to do it. And Cornette, if you get your Midnight Express in there and think that they're going to block my attempt to get at you, you're dead wrong because number one, I've got Dusty Rhodes and Magnum TA by my side. I've got the Rock and Roll Express, and I've got the Road Warriors. Midnight Express and Jim Cornette you're taken care of.
And let's bring in Magnum TA. Magnum TA, of course, the best of 7 for that U.S. heavyweight title.
Well, talk about letters. Letters coming in by the thousands about the Great American Bash. And not in one of those letters, not one single solitary letter, does anybody support what Bob Geigel, the president of the NWA, did. Well, I'm the man that walked out here, was man enough to hand the title over, even though nobody, and I mean nobody, has ever beaten me for that title. 7 long months, I defended it against all the baddest competition in the world, and you, Nikita Koloff, come over here from Russia, have the audacity to come out here on American television and put down all our athletes. Say you're superior just because you say so. Well, you have never proved anything to me. Not with a chain, not with the help of Uncle Ivan, not with the help of Baron von Raschke. I still stand here, and I'm still fired up, and I'll stay that way until I put you down. They say it's got to go 4 matches. Well, I predict this. I predict after the first one, there won't be enough of you left to continue. You'll have to forfeit all the rest of them to me.
God damn, he could talk.
Man, he was good at it, buddy.
It's crazy to think how early he is in his career here. I
Right.
mean, and to know that later in just, gosh, a handful of months, it's done.
Yeah. And that's the tragedy of everything. But the fact is, when I see him, I go, here, belly to belly. Well,
I was waiting on it. I was like, let's see what he's going to show off here. One drop kick and then.
And a belly to belly. Only get an hour today, boys. On TVS. You better get it in. Get your promos. Get them in the seats.
Jeez.
Great American Badge. Wahoo, of course, and the Indian Strap, part of the Great American Badge 86. As soon as we finish talking, we're going to show you a number about the Great American Badge, which you can call. But Wahoo, I know you're looking for that Indian Strap now.
Well, like you said, it seems like everybody's clean and ready. Everybody's in a hurry to get their matches over. They're all ready. Their timing's the best I've ever seen. They got all the great athletes together here for the Bash. Believe me, I'm just proud to be part of it. Jimmy Carvin, it's going to be bad for you because I've got my match signed, an Indian Strap match. I'm not going to stand here in the line and say I don't have the advantage because I do. Indian Strap matches are what I do best. And you're going to be tied to me 8 feet away, and that's as far as you can get. And the only way you can win this match is to drag your opponent around that ring, touching all 4 posts. And can you imagine, just imagine how bad, Jimmy Garvin, you got to be hurt to be dragging you around there, but I'm going to do it.
Okay, Chief Wahoo McDaniel. Once again, that number to call for the Great American.
Is it just me, or does it sound like Wahoo had like a mouthful of marbles right there a little bit?
Well,
I love
think
it,
so.
by the way.
Yeah.
I'm not judging, but it just, the words just sort of fall out of his mouth.
Well, he kind of knew that everything was kind of in a hurry today.
Oh, everybody's in a hurry to get their matches over with.
No, and get this promo over so we can promote the Great American Bash.
Yeah.
Oh man, just
go out there and say some things, but not too much. Hurry.
Oh man. Ronnie Garvin.
Ronnie Garvin.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Got any good Taz stories lately?
Yeah.
There we go. I knew there was one.
But I'm not going to tell it.
Oh, can you tell me off air?
Mm-hmm.
Good. Ronnie Garvin, over. And the commercial break we go.
Mm-hmm.
Man, this show's flying by today.
Yes, it is. That's why we had a lot of talk at the beginning, because we weren't going to get anything in because of this.
At the Great American Bash in 30 days, looming for this man, a heavyweight champion of the world, and today on television with his tights in the ring.
You know, about a month ago, I had the privilege of turning on a television show, a Jim Crockett promotion, and a man named Dusty Rhodes walked out in front of you and Mr. Crockett, in front of the whole world, and said that he was the number 1 wrestling, number 1 sports attraction in the world today, and that he was going to grace your program with his presence. Well, today, Tony Schiavone, the world heavyweight wrestling champion, not the American Dream, not Dusty Rhodes, but the world champion is going to put his tights on. He's not going to charge you $50 ringside. He's not going to charge you. Period. I'm going to get in that ring because there are days in my life when I like everybody firsthand to have the privilege of seeing me. on national TV. The world champion, your world champion, and Dusty Rhodes, Ricky Morton, Gibson, Wahoo, Garvin, Magnum TA, every one of you know what I'm talking about. 14 dates, the greatest wrestling extravaganza of all time. 14 of you chasing the world championship. 14 of you wanting to take this home. Well, this lives in my house. And it's going to take a great wrestler and a great man to beat this. All of you are great, but it's going to take a real great man. I'm the first to say all 14 of you are the best there is. But in reality, all 14 of you are the second best because this right here is the best. One more note, Road Warrior Hawk, I know you're laid up on the beach. Tonight at 6:05 or 5:05, turn on your TV because you haven't got the guts to be down here. If you did, you'd get your face slapped at the hands of the World Heavyweight Champion.
Nature Boy Ric Flair, let's go to the ring.
Oh, and now we got Ole and Arn in the ring, about to lay waste to the Mulkey Bros. What do you think of that Flair promo there?
I thought it was kind of like a shoot.
Yeah.
On Dusty.
Yeah.
That you're not the big attraction. I am, because I've got this.
Yep.
And I prove it every night. I think that's kind of what it was.
Yep.
I liked it because, you know, Flair did the old thing that heels always do. Flair always said this, that we talk big and then we're chicken shits in the arena and then we lie about it on TV the next week.
Yes.
And that's classic heel stuff is what it is.
And Hogan started doing that with the NWO.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's guys. I mean, to see the Great American Bash 24-hour toll-free info again in this day and age, just go to our website.
Yeah.
but now you got to call a toll-free number and listen to all the information.
Now, in fairness, we used to do that with movies. Remember, you'd call that number and it would tell you all the movie times.
Yeah, I sure do.
Jurassic Park at so-and-so and so-and-so and such and such.
Well, that was all. Remember the guy who had AOL Movie Line, had that phony voice?
No.
Welcome to Movie Line.
Oh, it's called Movie Phone, wasn't it?
Movie Phone or whatever it was. Yeah, I remember that.
You remember everything, Tony.
No, no.
No, I know. Everybody listening to this who listened to that Steve Austin show remembers that. You don't remember.
You won't let that go, will you? You fucking won't let that motherfucking go.
Hey, speaking of things that people won't let go, you found my goddamn 6-man belt yet?
Yeah. Petco Park.
Oh, really? You saw it over there?
No, I heard about it.
Oh, you talked to someone who was there?
I read about it.
Okay. So you're like,
so I'm telling you to go get it. Here's Spine Buster. Bug-a-boom.
Well, he looks just like Brock there, doesn't he?
Oh, he does, man. Looks just like Brock. Ole going to come across that double axe handle. Ooh, no, with the knee into the shoulder. And then they're going to pull that sucker out of joint. That's the deal.
Just beat the fuck out of him.
Yeah.
There it is. Minnesota Wrecking Crew.
You know what I liked about that is they did this and then he pulled on the elbow, right? Or the shoulder. And then when they said bring the bell, he just fucking dropped it.
Electricity, Steve Regal. And
all right, you got to tell us, what do you think he's saying here?
Whoa, McDaniel was out here with marbles in his mouth. And I don't know if he drank too much, and we like to say back in 86, fire water or not, can't say it here in 2021, but he obviously had a little bit too much to drink. And Tony, you know all about that because you and Wahoo has spent some time in the bar. That's right. And you can read more about that at Butts and Seats, the Tony Schiavone story at buttsandseatscomic.com. Now, I'm not here to promote Tony Schiavone's comic book. I'm here to promote the Great American Bash. And I'm going to be chasing Wahoo or fighting my... Don't worry, sweetheart. I didn't understand what you said, but I do know what you were saying. Well, that's right. The Great American Bash. Wahoo! You are done. Indian strap match. What do they think? That QT Marshall? That's right, Marshall and Cody Rhodes are going to have a strap match coming up at the Night Center of the Great, what is that? Because Dynamite. That's called Dynamite. They're not going to have a strap match, a South Beach strap match. We're going to have an Indian strap match. That's exactly right. And I'm going to be tied to Wahoo, and I'm going to get strapped, baby doll. You're not baby doll. Baby, I'm going to get strapped, and it's going to hurt. And I need you to massage my back. Steve, don't you worry about it. I'm going to be there with you. I'm not too long for this promotion, but I'm going to be here. We're out of time.
I love you for that.
Whew. I think I promoted everything there. That's what you're supposed to do in those promos. Promote. And that's what we did. Another Shaska.
Here we go.
Primed and ready for the Great American Bash.
You know, Tony, it seems like just yesterday I got out here and I started talking about Valiant. And here it is. July is right around the corner. And it looks like the Bash is where it's going to be done. But if I can get the job done with the Army Valiant the day before July, we will get it done. I don't know, Tony, from week to week whether I'm going to be out here with my Army, with all of them, or just one or two of them, or if Valiant is... Look at that, Big Dad! Look at that propaganda! Look at that! I can't stand it! I can't stand it! We won't have that Valiant! In July, Valiant! The glove on the pole is going to illuminate you! It's going to answer to my dreams! Or it's going to be Shaska! And you're going to be a ball-hitting king! I never, ever want to see that picture on television or any building again, Baron.
This is ridiculous. And there is only one way to stop Herr Valiant in the middle of the ring. You know he has accused me, Baron von Reska, of using a loaded glove. I do not need the glove. But now the match is signed. Climb the pole. Get the loaded riot glove. Use it anywhere you want. And the winner takes all. And I tell you this, I promise you this. In the Bash, you're going to feel the Bash when the Claw takes the glove, one after the other, and knocks you out. And then the hair. That's all the people need to know.
Fans, let's go to the ring.
Why do we not have Shaska talk?
I don't know. Maybe we thought that Shaska was not the right one to talk back then. But years later, he was the right
only one to talk.
Exactly. Man.
Flair's going to make quick work of Tony Zane here.
Yeah, missed opportunity there. We only got about, 7 minutes or so to go in the show. So this might be like our last match. I'm not so sure.
We'll probably finish him and cut a promo.
Yeah. What do we got here?
Oh, a little distraction maybe? Hawk is at ringside now. Oh, and he's making his way onto the apron. Flair with the knee to the midsection. The Hawk's just coming right in.
Big Bird, man.
Let's track it.
Hawk! Flair! Tried everything! Hawk goes right after him!
Oh, Philadelphia in the Bash!
Oh! Look at it! Hawk presses Rick right over his head as he walks up. Wait a minute! Oh!
Oh my goodness! He threw Flair right out on top of the horse.
Behind now. All Four Horsemen jump on Hawk. They're trying to put him out. They're trying to keep him out of Philadelphia.
This has got to be the plan.
Animal, stop it. Put a knee into him. Look at him.
And Paul Ellering, an animal. Now JJ. Oh, he knocks Paul Ellering in the back of the head. And now into the post. Animal into the post.
What's he going to do? Look at him. Hawk's up there. Hey, look at Animal. They got it. They pound
Okay. David, the Road Warrior's still down.
That never happened.
Animal down on the floor, pressures Paul Ellering, and Hawk, who had come into the ring, like Ric Flair said he wanted to see Road Warrior Hawk. He slapped him right in the face.
They came in. They saw Hawk, Animal, Ellering. They jumped into the Four Horsemen really fast because you got to include J.J. Dillon. They all went after him.
Well, we're looking at Animal right now. Didn't even get a chance to get into the ring to help out Hawk. And we're going to take a look right now once again at a portion of what you saw as Hawk came in. The music of the Road Warriors playing, and like we said, like you said, David, trying to prevent the Hawk from going to Philadelphia in the bash.
Hawk there. Look at him. Rick trying everything, but can't stop the Hawk. Road Warrior Hawk takes Rick. Now look at this. Oh, just crushes him. Then picks him up. Now look at him. Press Ric Flair right over his head. Walks over. Now remember, Arn Anderson's coming in telling.
Oh, look at that. One of the most incredible things I've ever seen on World Championship Wrestling, the power of the Hawk. But David, we talked about Four Horsemen. Here's the fourth one, right from behind.
Then they start. All Four Horsemen start to pound away on Road Warrior Hawk.
Four Horsemen, nothing. What they just proved here, without a doubt, that the people already knew, is that they're punks. Because one of them can't get the job done. Animal and Hawk will take on 2, 3, just tell us. But we can't fight 4. 4-1. Give me a break. All my life and all Animal's life, we fought and scrapped for everything we had. And nobody has ever slapped me in the face in my life. My mama never slapped me in my face. My dad never slapped me in my face. But all Ric Flair, he's gonna slap me in the face when he's got 3 guys holding me. Yeah, then he's gonna slap me in the face. It don't make no difference now, Philadelphia. I don't care about no stinking belts now. I want Ric Flair, and I'm gonna have him in Philadelphia. And it ain't gonna be the Four Horsemen. It's gonna be you, Flair. It's gonna be me. And for this, you think you did something good for you? And the Four Horsemen, you think you're a big man now? You did me a favor. You made me see the light. You brought the hate into me that I ain't had in a long time. And now I know how good it feels. And I'm gonna tell you, Flair, the last town you're gonna ever see is Philadelphia, the American Bash. Flair, the end of the championship is the end of the line for you. You can hurt me, but I get back up. I'm gonna hurt you like you ain't never been hurt before. I've heard you talk about you're gonna die with the belt. We'll see you in Philadelphia.
And we'll see you next week on World Championship Wrestling.
Kind of a hidden promo for Hawk there.
Yeah, man.
Say you're going to die with the belt. We'll see you in Philadelphia. It's a great line.
Yeah, it's he was pretty fired up.
Yeah.
Good. I liked it. It was a little 1-hour show with a lot of talking and no wrestling, but I liked it.
Next week, by the way, or I guess we should run through what they're doing this following week. Later that night, let my family save your family some cash. You don't need perfect credit. You don't need money out of your pocket, but we will save you money. It's not a matter if, it's a matter of how much. SaveWithConrad.com. They're at the Scope in Virginia. And on top, we've got Flair and Ricky Morton in a Texas death match. Robert Gibson challenging Arn Anderson for the TV title. And then we got the Midnights taking on Dusty and Magnum TA. The next day, we did a matinee show at the Omni. A matinee Omni show. Only 2,000 people there, which sort of stood out to me. Yeah. But Flair versus Ricky Morton in a steel cage is your main event. We got Ole and Arn taking on Ron Garvin and Robert Gibson. We've also got a lumberjack match with the Midnights taking on Dusty and Magnum. And then later that night, or that same day rather, you had a matinee show in Asheville. And the main event there was Jimmy Garvin versus Wahoo McDaniel. But you're in Greensboro at the Coliseum that evening. Both shows come together, and we've got Dusty and Magnum taking on the Midnights again in a lumberjack match. Ricky Morton's going to be in action with Ric Flair. This time they go to a double count out. Obviously, Greensboro is a big deal. And then we do a TV taping in Fayetteville, North Carolina, where we would see a pro and worldwide and all that happen. Nothing of any major significance, but that's in Fayetteville. On the 24th, we're back at the Winthrop Coliseum in Rock Hill. Again, this is a TV taping, and this is a better show. There's more eventful stuff happening on this, more players, if you will, like the Road Warriors and whatnot. But Flair is in Florida the very next day. Check this out. Miami Beach, June 25th, 1986. The main event is Ric Flair defending his NWA World Champion against the Southern Champion, Lex Luger.
Wow.
How about that? And then
this
couple of shows on the 26th. Flair would be over in Hawaii, taking on Sam Samoan, no relation to Samoa Joe. And then on the 26th, the guys were back in a high school, Harrisonburg, Virginia, with Wahoo and Jimmy Garvin on top. Some of our listeners are probably thrown off by what I just said there, Tony. Explain how Jim Crockett Promotions would wind up at a high school.
I would, it's called the Spot Show.
Yep.
And the Spot Show would be in conjunction with the high school athletic department, where a promoter would go in and say, we will give you a certain amount of money from the gate. I don't know what that was. It's probably some working number. And you would get part of your athletic department, and they would think that now you go out and promote it for us. Within the school, tell the kids, they'll tell their parents, they'll come. And that's how I saw my first event, was at a high school gym. And those things worked. They really did. I wouldn't say always sell out those places, but most of the time, the ones that I saw, they would sell out. So they were called spot shows, but they were also spot shows to help fund an athletic department. Harrisonburg High School did that a lot. Harrisonburg, Virginia was where I went to college, James Madison, and Harrisonburg High School gym had it a lot. So, and they would also do some spot shows at the Augusta Expo, which is a building that I went by this week. And spot shows would be not on the regular tour.
On the 27th, we're in Columbia, South Kakalaki, and we've got the James Boys going ahead of the Midnight Express in a non-title bunkhouse match. Team up with Arn to take on the Rock and Roll Express, which was a barn burner. And then they had Flair on the 27th. Check this out, in Salt Lake City, Utah for the AWA.
Wow.
So Flair's all over the place. Let's just recap real quick here. We want to acknowledge that on the 23rd and 24th, there's 2 sets of TV tapings. On the 25th, he's in Miami. On the 26th, he's in Honolulu. On the 27th, he's in Salt Lake City. This time, he's going to be wrestling with the future Mr. Perfect. This is kind of fun to go back and trace the steps and see, what his schedule was like and what the rest of the crew's schedule was like. And let's go ahead and tell you what our schedule is like too. Next week, we're going to be watching the show that comes up next. Of course, the episode on the 28th. And then we'll be back in 2 weeks as we're going to watch one of these Great American Bashes. And I can't wait for that, man. Our original plan was to do that with the Crockett Cup. And then, Peacock had other plans. And now we've just said, you know what? Damn the torpedoes and damn the cock. We're going to do what we want to do. We're going to watch Great American Bash. I'm looking forward to it.
I am too. This really is, if you think about, when we think about the Crockett era, I guess we think more about Starrcade. And I understand, because that was the original one, and that was the one every Thanksgiving until it was purchased. And then Turner fucked it up. But really, the Great American Bash 86 was kind of like the crowning jewel of the Crockett's. Now, obviously, a lot of the venues did not do well, because I think the Crockett's,
but a lot did.
A lot did do well, yes, but I think the Crockett's thought that, I don't know, did they think they were bigger than they were, or did they just say, we're just going to go to the big venues because that's who we are, give it a shot? I don't know.
I think Dusty had big visions, and obviously they had the quote unquote big TV, but yeah, they overestimated it. I mean,
yeah.
The first one's July 1st, Veterans Stadium, Philadelphia, 10,900 fans there.
That's pretty good.
2 days later, RFK Stadium. It's a football stadium, boys and girls.
Home of the Redskins or Washington football team.
6,300 fans. Not great.
No.
The very next day, the 4th of July, they're in Memphis, the Liberty Bowl, a football stadium. 1,900 fans.
Never will forget that day as long as I live.
And then the next day, you want to talk about the best of times, the worst of times. You're in Charlotte, North Carolina at the stadium, 23,000 fans.
Yeah. And at that stadium, that was a sellout, I believe.
And by the way, that is the show we're going to be watching in 2 weeks. 23,000 fans, July 5th, 1986. And you know what? Why not? Later, I think sometime in July, we should at least consider hitting up another show.
I think so. A lot to unpack with that Charlotte show, and that should be a lot of fun. I want to, speaking of Jim Crockett Promotion, to shout out to a friend of our show, Dick Bourne.
Oh, yeah. Shout out to Dick, who MidAtlanticGateway.com is his baby. If you're loving what we're doing, there's probably no better site to be the perfect companion for what we're doing than MidAtlanticGateway.com.
Yeah, he reached out to me this week and said he had heard from Bob Cottle and his wife, Jackie, that they had cabin fever, wanted to go out to eat some fried chicken and barbecue chicken or barbecue. And so Dick was going to go over to their house and take them out. So
I guess you heard that Price's Chicken is done.
Price's Chicken is done?
Yeah.
I don't know what you mean by Price's Chicken is done.
All right. Back in the day when you guys were doing promos in Jim Crockett Promotions.
Yeah.
Was there never a bucket of chicken in the back?
Oh, yes, there was.
Okay. Right. So does that ring a bell at all?
No.
Okay. Well, they closed.
Okay.
I was trying to, just mention that, and you looked at me like I was stupid, but you ate it every week.
Okay. I didn't eat it. I did not eat that goddamn chicken. Do you know why?
Klondike Bill would bring in, I was told.
Yeah.
It was a moving box. So like you go down to like a Home Depot.
Yeah.
Maybe you hit up like a U-Haul. And what they would do is they would say, hey, you need some boxes for your move? And Klondike Bill would go get one of those boxes and he would take it to this chicken shack. And he would say, just fill this thing up with fried chicken.
Yeah.
And they did. And then he would bring it to the tapings.
Yeah.
And it's just some marathon day, right?
Oh yeah.
And while we're there, you got to eat something. Here you go.
But I did each and every one of those promos after Big Bill Ward left, and I never had time to eat. Never ate the chicken. Maybe have a piece of chicken afterwards when the show was over, anything left. And Nikita didn't spit on it. I would take it and maybe eat some of it then. But no, I was a trooper, man. I stood there all fucking day. Not only did I stand there all day, I was in a car wreck one day, and the following Wednesday, Lois had taken some jeans for me and cut the pants leg, the seam of the pants leg, so I could fit the jeans over a full-length cast that I had on. And I stood there all day on one motherfucking leg and did those motherfucking interviews. Motherfucking trooper.
Well, thanks for sharing. Jim Cornette tweeted about this chicken a couple of days ago. The end of an era. Every Wednesday, while we all did local promos at Crockett's office, Klondike Bill would arrive with a huge moving box full of Price's Chicken. The Road Warriors and other bodybuilders would give me their extra skin, which I've always thought is hilarious. The idea that these guys are trying to, stay in shape or whatever, they're not going to eat the fried chicken skin, so they're going to throw it away. And of course, I'm sure Cornette, as Bruce Pritchard would say, God damn, you're throwing away the best part. Let me have that. And I made fun of that. And then a few years ago, I went to a concert and we went to this, like, we got in a day early. And so we went to like this highfalutin restaurant. It was just rated very well. And it wasn't until I got there that I realized, oh, y'all are being a little hoity-toity. Imagine my surprise when the appetizer was fried chicken skins.
What?
And it was a menu. Like it was written. And I took a photo because I thought this is make believe. This can't be real.
Yeah.
But no, there it was. Fried chicken skins.
That may be the only establishment that has that in the world.
I bet somebody else does, but I was like, this is. So anyway, of course, Cassie was like, are you in? I'm in. So we at least tried a fried chicken skin. And then I was like, what the fuck are we doing?
Oh, it was great seeing Cassio in Baltimore. That was a good surprise. I didn't know he was coming with you. That was good.
It was literally booked the day before.
Oh, okay.
It was one of those deals where, as you mentioned, Jarrett had anxiety, right?
Yeah.
So he's like nervous.
Right.
And so he's like, what do you mean you're not coming? So.
Yeah. And of course I saw Dawkins there, and of course he's just there to bill us. That's all.
Yeah. I mean, if you're not sure about that, just ask Raphael Morphy. He'll tell you all about it. And on that note, boys and girls, it feels like it's about that time. This was our last What Happened When with me in my 30s. I'll be older and wiser when you hear me again. Mm-hmm. Until next time, he is at Tony Schiavone 24. I am at Hey, it's Conrad, and we are out of time. Tony, doesn't it look like it's about that time?
It is about that time, ladies and gentlemen. Conrad Thompson makes his way to the ring at age 40 years old, and here comes Dave Silva wielding a chair. They are going to try to recreate Dusty and Bubba, the moment that we will always remember that we've seen on the show, where Silva crashes Conrad over top of the head with Silva cannot reach Conrad's head. What's he going to do? We're desperately out of time. We'll see you next week on What Happened When. We come to you Wednesdays on Cumulus, or also Westwood One, as it was once known. But Mondays we come to you on
Patreon. Patreon.com/WHW Monday. And of course, adfreeshows.com. Hey, it's Conrad Thompson. Thanks for checking out the podcast here on YouTube. Be sure to hit the subscribe button and the notifications bell so you get a notice anytime we upload some new content. And go save yourself some money right now. If you're in a 30-year loan or you have credit card debt, it's not a matter of if I can save you money. It's a matter of how much. Find out right now for free at SaveWithConrad.com.